Hey y'all, in today's video, I'm going to be sharing another what I pack in my husband's lunchbox. He is a truck driver if you are new here, and I'm going to be packing up 5 lunches throughout this video. So I recently bought this new bento box from Target. I ordered it online and it is only $10, and this thing is a really good size if you cannot tell. I did check this morning and it does show out of stock, but if you want it, I just recommend keeping an eye on it. I absolutely love ours. So I'm going to start off by giving him a simple ham and cheese sandwich, always a favorite. So I started by toasting 2 pieces of bread. This is some bakery bread that I just sliced off. I'm not really sure where from. My dad gave it to me. And I'm just piling it high with some deli ham. As you can see, that is very thick and filling. And we both love mustard and mayo on our sandwiches. And I always put that in between the meat and the cheese. I'm giving him a slice of Havarti cheese. I guess that's how you say it. That was my first time buying it, and you cannot have a sandwich without some chips. So we're going to go with some Lay's barbecue. And anytime I buy name brand chips, I pretty much always buy it from Kroger. And no, I'm not sponsored in any way, but it's just the best deal there. If you buy 4 bags, you can always get it for pretty cheap, anywhere from like $1.99 to $2.20 is what I think it is. Really good deal. I'm also going to give him some Southern style macaroni salad that I made that was just left over from dinner. Topped it with some paprika. I'm also giving him some fresh strawberries. I'm leaving some whole and I'm slicing some to put on top. I just think that looks really nice. I'm also going to give him some of this Reese's snack mix. This has the little mini Reese's in it, some pretzels, and some chocolate covered popcorn. We all really love that snack. I've not seen it in a while, so I'm just going to fill up 2 of the little smaller sections with that. I'm also going to give him some of these dry roasted peanuts. These are the sea salt ones. This is something that I don't buy very often, but we've been liking that as a snack lately as well. And then in the last little compartment, I'm just going to give him 2 string cheeses and 2 Slim Jims. So I decided to just chop it up with my scissors to make it all fit in there nice. He really likes that little snack combination there, and I'm just doing it with some scissors, so it's flying everywhere, but I got the job done. But there is the overview of everything. I think that looks really nice. I think personally, if I was to be on a lunch break and open this thing up, I think that would make my day a little bit better. I love the idea of just having everything in one box versus a bunch of different containers. So I'm just really excited to have this box. So of course I'm going to throw in a fork for his macaroni salad. I'm going to give him a bottle of Diet Coke. We recently got a Menards a town over, and they have this strawberry kiwi Gatorade Zero, and it is so good. I wish all stores sold it. And then in the mornings, this Stanley cup gets filled with water. I used to do it the night before, but sometimes that can leave a metallic taste. So we do that in the mornings now, and we have a few different lunchbox options. I bought this one specifically for our Razor rides. I got it at Walmart for like $25, but I just wanted to show y'all a lunchbox that will hold this big bento box. As you can see, it still has plenty of room, so it's perfect. This was just a demonstration, so in the morning, obviously, it will get ice packs and all of his drinks thrown in there. The next day, I'm going to be utilizing some leftovers that I've had in my fridge. So here's some tortillas. These are the tortilla land ones that I cooked up. I also meal prepped some chicken, which isn't something I typically do, but I cooked a bunch in my crock pot, and then I shredded it up and divided it between bags. So I put most in the freezer, but I did leave out that one. And I've also had this salsa verde in my fridge for a while. So those 3 ingredients were my inspiration, and I just kind of winged it from there. I don't know what you would call this, but I'm basically making some chicken wraps. So I didn't have sour cream, so I used some plain Greek yogurt in place of that. I drizzled in some of the salsa verde, and I also went in with some fajita seasoning, just some store brand, and I'm just gonna fold all of that together until it's nice and combined and has a good consistency. I think this right here is perfect, not too runny, not too dry, and I just have my 2 tortillas laid out on my countertop. Yes, it's clean, of course. And I'm just going to start packing that chicken in there. As you can see, these are going to be very hefty, fat chicken wraps, which that's completely fine. He works really long hours, so These are protein packed. I'm just going to roll these up the best that I can. I do have a skillet preheating on the stove over there to the left. I'm going to spray in some olive oil, and I'm just going to place my chicken wraps in there, seam side down, so they'll kind of seal. I did spray some more olive oil over the tops, kind of spread that out. I wanted every inch of that tortilla to be nice and browned and crispy, and that is all there is to it. I'm going to transfer it on over to his little metal container here. This goes into his heated lunchbox, which I'll show here in a little bit in case you've never seen it. But there they are. I'm just going to set that to the side and start packing up everything else. So I also had some leftover refried beans that I wanted to use up. So I decided I'm going to make a quick little bean dip. So I'm going to add some more of that Greek yogurt into the beans. I'm also going to do some of that fajita seasoning. And then I was out of salsa and taco sauce, so I just threw in 2 of these little Taco Bell mild sauce packets, and that's it. I'm just going to stir that in really good. Then I'm going to transfer that on over to my little snack size, what I call it, glass container. I bought a 2-pack of these at Big Lots years ago, and I'm just gonna spread that out. And then lastly, I'm gonna top it with some of this nacho and taco blend shredded cheese. I love this one. It's really good. It's got taco seasoning blended in with the cheese, so flavorful. And then in the smaller section of that container, I'm just going to put in some fresh pineapple that I cut up. This one was really ripe and sweet and perfect. We love that. And I gave him a fork for the pineapple. And then to go along with the bean dip, I'm going to give him some of these Fritos scoops. These are so dang good with like any type of dip. So I just transferred that to a little sandwich bag. And that goes with his bean dip, like I said. Lastly, I'm going to give him one of these strawberry cheesecake mini bundt cakes. And then I'm also going to throw in a creamy coconut, 0 sugar Dr. Pepper. I personally love those. Now here's that heated lunchbox that I was talking about earlier. We are currently using the Lunch Ease. I just charge it up at home the night before, and then in the morning before he goes to work, that lunch container goes from the fridge inside the blue box in this insulated bag, and I can either set his lunchtime for him or he can hit a button to start heating it up whenever he wants to, but it's been very handy for him since he doesn't have access to a microwave. I'm excited to share this recipe with y'all. I made ham salad for the first time. This is something we have never had before. It doesn't sound good and it doesn't look good, but it is delicious. And it is the perfect cold lunch for these hot summer days. So I had some ham in my freezer. I'm not the best at labeling my bags, so I don't know if this was from Christmas or if it was from the Easter ham that I made. Either way, it was good, and I thawed it out and threw it in my food processor. And I'm just going to pulse that until it's in tiny little chunks. You don't want to turn this into a mush, but you want it to be in tiny little cubes, just like this right here. Now, I looked at so many recipes online for this, and the one that stood out the most to me was from Macy Blackwell. I'm sure a lot of y'all have heard of her. I will tag the video that she made on it in my description box, but she had Swiss cheese in hers. I never saw anyone else do that, and Swiss cheese and ham go so good together. I knew this one would be the one, so I did pulse that in the food processor as well to make it into smaller pieces. I'm adding a few big spoonfuls of some mayo as well as a spoonful of some Dijon mustard. And I did probably a few tablespoons, I would say, of some dill relish. So with my spatula, I'm just going to get all of that mixed together. That is it ingredient-wise. You don't need any seasonings. I promise. You definitely don't need any salt. And I am going to be serving it on some King's Hawaiian rolls. I'm using a cookie scoop to make the perfect little sandwich. This is also really good with Ritz crackers, but the Hawaiian rolls was definitely our favorite. As you can tell, I made a big batch of it, so I had this for my lunches as well, and we just both loved it so much. That's my kind of meal prep right there. So to go along with it, I'm going to serve it with these Grippos barbecue chips. Something about Grippos in the summertime, it's just top tier. That and a sandwich, one of my summertime favorites. So Just packed him a Ziploc bag full of those. And then I'm also going to make him a little fruit parfait. I'm using this vanilla Greek yogurt. I've been buying the bigger containers of yogurt lately versus like the little individual serving size one, just to kind of get more for my buck, you know. And we've really been loving pairing that with fresh fruit. The kids really love it as well. And Kroger had blackberries for 99 cents a container. I couldn't pass that up. Pairs really good with a yogurt. So when he's ready to eat that, he can just combine the blackberries and with a yogurt, a nice refreshing little snack. So I gave him a spoon. And then lastly, I'm going to give him a good old honey bun. And then for his pop, I'm going to give him a can of Diet Pepsi. Next up, I'm going to be making these little salami and Boursin cheese roll-ups. These things are so tasty and they are so cute. I got that private selection salami on sale. It's really good. And of course, the garlic and herbs Boursin cheese. That stuff is so good in recipes and just on its own. I do wish it was a little bit cheaper. If it was, it would be a staple. I never see that on sale. But I started by laying a piece of cling wrap out on my countertop, and I laid 4 rows of salami down, 5 pieces going down. That makes sense. And then I'm just going to take that softened Boursin cheese, and with a butter knife, I am just going to smear that all over the top of the salami. It was a little bit tricky to do this because the salami was kind of wanting to move around a little bit. This is something that you definitely cannot rush. You just kind of have to take your time and be patient with it. But once I finally got that spread out to my liking, I just rotated that, and I'm going to start rolling it up from the short side. And as you can see, I'm just using my cling wrap to help me roll that up. And it rolled very easily, as you can tell. Stayed together very well, and I'm just wrapping it back up in the cling wrap. It was a little bit too short on the ends, so I did double wrap it with the cling wrap, and I'm just going to set that in the fridge for several hours. That's just going to make it slice a lot nicer when it's chilled. So I just sliced it into little thin pieces, and this is good on its own, but it's also good on Ritz crackers. So I'm just going to start piling this in his box. I've had this one for several years. I got it at Walmart. I've also seen some at Hobby Lobby. It's not the same brand, but it looks like identical, and there's different colors. So handy. And then underneath the salami and cheese roll-ups, I'm going to give him some pasta salad. I should have used a serving spoon to make that go quicker. I don't know what I was thinking, but this pasta salad was so good. I used the Kroger creamy Italian dressing in it. And if you want to see how I made this and get the recipe, it's in my summer sides video. If you missed it, I will definitely link it in my description box if you're interested. So I'm going to put the roll-ups back on top, and then over there to the side, I'm going to give him some fresh, crunchy green grapes. He's always loved those. And I'm also going to give him some Ritz crackers for the salami roll-ups, and I'm going to leave it in the packaging just to help prevent like any moisture from, absorbing into that. And lastly, I'm going to give him some key lime poke cake that I made. This recipe is so delicious, perfect for summer, and this recipe will also be in that video with the pasta salad. So he's also going to get another Diet Pepsi. Lastly, I'm going to be trying out a new recipe for sausage balls. My family absolutely loves sausage balls, and it's one of Josh's favorite things to take to work. I have a few recipes that we love that I kind of rotate through, but this is for Creole sausage balls, and it really caught my attention, and they are so amazing. You need a pound of hot breakfast sausage, a cup of Bisquick, and 2 cups of sharp cheddar cheese. I shredded it myself, and this right here is the Tony's Creole seasoning. You need 2 teaspoons of it, and I can never get my measuring spoon to fit down in there, so I just kind of dump some out into a small little bowl, and then I can kind of scoop it from there. So if any of y'all have some recommendations for like some slimmer like measuring spoons, let me know. I would love to get some. But I added 2 teaspoons in, like I said, a teaspoon of some dried parsley and a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, and just a splash of milk. So I've got my dough hook attachment onto my KitchenAid mixer, and I'm just going to mix that until it's all nice and combined. I don't know if it's just my KitchenAid mixer, it is an older one, or if it's all of them, but I always have to like stop at some point and scrape down the sides and the bottom with a spatula, or else the Bisquick kind of wants to separate. But this right here is what you are looking for. You just want to scoop it out into balls and throw it onto a cookie sheet. I like to line mine with parchment paper so it doesn't stick, and I like to use a cookie scoop. This is a bigger cookie scoop. It just makes it go quicker. I know you're supposed to make them smaller, like technically, but I like to make ours big. It goes a lot quicker, and it's more like meatball size. It's just how I've always done it. So I just roughly I should say, just, scoop it out onto my cookie sheet, and then I like to go back in with my hands and just quickly roll those into a tighter ball, and to make them look nicer onto my cookie sheet. And I do have my oven preheated to 375 degrees, and I let these cook for 20 minutes. I did check them with a meat thermometer just to make sure they were fully cooked through, and they were. And here's what they look like when they are done. So delicious. These are good cold. They're good at room temperature. Obviously, they're good hot. So I am going to put these in his heated lunchbox just so that he has the option when he's ready to eat them, which he told me he did heat them up, and he really loved them. These are very filling. He would honestly be happy with just those, but I did throw some extra stuff in. So I gave him the last of the pretzels that we had in the pantry, and I'm going to pair it with some beer cheese. Our friend Bill makes homemade beer cheese. It's super good, so I definitely wanted to use that up. We had just came back from vacation, so everything in here is what I was working with that was, in the kitchen. So we were out of fruit, like fresh fruit, but I did have these mango cups in the fridge. I buy these at Costco. They are very good. We all love them. And this wasn't really necessary, but I did throw in 2 small bags of this kettle corn. I bought a big box of these off of Amazon for my daughter's softball team. It had mixed like varieties in there, and the kids didn't care for the kettle corn, so I just wanted to get rid of that. So I gave him some Diet Mountain Dew. I'm also going to give him one of these Alani Nu Pink Slush energy drinks. And then this is a clip that I filmed in the morning time that I'm just adding in. But this is a drink that we have been liking over the summer. I like to buy these drink mixes that are made for like gallon sizes of water. I get all the different flavors. I've done Walmart brand, Kroger brand, Meyer brand. They're all really good. I mix it with a gallon of spring water, and I just call it Kool-Aid. Growing up, we always had Kool-Aid in the fridge and a pitcher just like this. So I want to say it's a little bit healthier. I don't like that there's dyes in it for the kids. I will have to find an alternative, but it's just a fun little summer drink that we have been having. So that is all I got for y'all in today's video. I really do hope that y'all enjoyed it. I hope that it was helpful for anyone out there who is looking for some different lunchbox ideas, and I hope that it kind of motivated you to pack from home and save some money. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see y'all in my next one.